Well, hello, everybody. I am really excited to be here. We are right on the hour, right at 7 o'clock, and just super excited to share with everybody this holiday training. It is the day before Thanksgiving or 2 days before Thanksgiving, right as I say this. And so that's very, very exciting. And so I figured what we would do before we all go off to cook our meals or before we get on that plane to visit family and do all of these crazy things that the next 6 weeks have in store for us is taking a little bit of time as women, as single girls who are navigating the holidays flying solo, maybe without a special someone. Either that, maybe you've been single for a while. It may be that maybe you've been single for a while, or maybe that you are going through a divorce or whatnot, or anything along the lines of that. What we are actually looking to do during this particular session is to really kind of focus on all of the wonderful things that you can do as a single person to really kind of take ownership of and really kind of rock the holiday season. So I don't know about you all, but I am really, really excited for this session. I'm going to have you all for maybe about 45 minutes or so, and then I will go ahead and let you guys off on your merry way to start incorporating some of these plans that we used into your own holiday strategy as a single gal. So without further ado, what we have here is our agenda. So our time together today is going to be broken up into a couple of different categories. And so our first one is understanding why there is holiday stress when you are a single girl. So single woman, you guys know, single ladies, whatever you want to call yourself, it's all the same, right? Flying solo. So we're going to actually look at understanding the stress of that. Then we're going to go through a quick exercise where you can actually release your expectations that you are putting on yourself and that kind of holiday stress and that drama and that trauma that can come up sometimes when you are a single gal. And then in addition to that, I am going to give you guys a step-by-step process how you can actually reclaim this holiday season for yourself and have an incredible time. Then we're going to actually walk through how you can make incredible, amazing connections right now during this holiday season as a single girl. And then I think one of the most important parts of the holiday season when you are flying solo is learning how to plan so you can you can get off on the right foot starting not just January 2nd, but through the whole holiday season. So without further ado, let us get into it. This is very, very exciting. So let's take a moment though, because I know for many people, myself included, when I was single and right after I'd gone through my divorce, there was so much stress. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I hated the holiday season. I was triggered. I wished I could have just run away to Mars or something right when Thanksgiving rolled around, all the way to January 2nd and January 3rd, because I hated it. And so one of the components and the bedrock to really start rocking out and really taking ownership and actually loving the holiday season as a single gal is to identify and take ownership of the reasons that maybe you are stressed during this season. Because let's face it, if you have found your way to me, if you are, whether watching this Facebook Live or pre-recorded, hey everybody, or if you are a part of my newsletter community, or you're a part of my Ready for Love group coaching program, more on that a little bit later, the reason why is probably because you are in a situation where you are not in a happy relationship, whether you have not been in a major relationship for a while, or you're still recovering from divorce or the passing of your spouse. And so a lot of those times, especially when you are in that space, the holidays are something that you dread. And so what we have to figure out, the first step to really rocking the holidays is to taking ownership. So the first way you take ownership when you do feel stressed out of the holidays is understand your triggers, and not to fear them, not to deny them, nothing like that, but to truly understand with curiosity and with compassion, why is it I don't feel really good around the holiday season? and understanding what those are. Is it a certain song? Is it the smell of a certain smell like eggnog, or, the smell of like your grandmother's ham or something that is making you upset or making you feel a certain way? And get curious with that. What is that trigger teaching you? Is that some type of anxiety that maybe you are still trying to work through? So just kind of understanding what those triggers are instead of just dreading everything about the holidays, getting very curious and compassionate with your triggers. In addition to that, to taking ownership and rocking the holiday season is to understand and accept that, yes, because you're human and because you have been on this earth for X amount of time, you may have some bad memories. And some of those bad memories may actually be focused around the holiday season. Now, for me to share a story about, oh my gosh, this might have been 12, 13 years ago when I was going through the really, really terrible marriage, and it was towards the end, and it was basically on life support. All of that stuff came crashing to a head during the holiday season. That there was a fighting, it was when he was moving out. And so for years afterwards, I hated the holiday season because it reminded me of all of those bad memories. And so it is being very compassionate with yourself and just looking at that kind of through the eyes of a scientist and explorer with curiosity that, well, hey, why is it that I don't like these bad memories? And what can I do about it? Because you have the choice to replace those bad memories with things that serve you. If you really want to be a great person during the holidays and you love the holiday season and you actually want to have a great time with the holiday season, even if you are single, it is your responsibility to recognize those bad memories, take ownership of them, work through them, and then replace them with things that are better, that are serving you better at this stage in your life. So in addition to that, it is also recognizing maybe you're stressed because there are those feelings of loneliness that, geez, I see everybody around and I don't have anybody, and that makes me feel very lonely. And when we, with a non-judgmental manner, like identify that and pinpoint that, and we accept, yes, I feel stressed because I'm lonely because I'm not with a special someone, or I'm not with my family, or, hey, if I am with my family and I still feel lonely, I have these bad memories, I have these triggers. Recognizing all of these things is not meant to make you being a single girl during the holiday season feel like shit. It's quite the opposite. It is an invitation for you to take your power back. So these bad things and these stressors are not taking ownership of you. And when you as a woman stand firm saying, I understand these things and I am working through them, and I'm not going to let them take a shit on my holiday season, that is the bedrock and foundation for having an incredible time starting today, even through January 2nd, even through the rest of January, even for the rest of the whole damn year as we go into the new year. So in addition to taking a look at those stressors and understanding those stressors, identify them with curiosity and compassion, something that we as women need to do and let go of is freaking expectations. One of the reasons that you're stressed, and maybe you're not rocking the holiday season, or you're actually dreading the holiday season, is because you have all these crazy high unattainable expectations that frankly nobody is going to be able to uphold. The reason that those things look great in a Hallmark movie or in Hollywood is because they are fake. Nobody can uphold those things. But I think the problem is with we as women, we put all this stress on ourselves. We put all this pressure on ourselves. Society puts all this pressure on us to have everything perfect, to have the perfect meal, to have the perfect decorations for the kids, to have the perfect gifts, for us to look absolutely gorgeous at the holiday party. The one thing that is going to get away that stress, that is going to get away that disappointment, and those things that are causing that sense of dread going into the holiday season as a single girl, are those expectations. They're the number one cause of stress during the holiday season. And so let this be your permission slip. Let this be your authorization card, your permit to finally release yourself of these expectations, to finally release yourself of the things that you think you should do or you shouldn't do. No. Besides, creating some kind of, or committing some kind of illegal acts, there's a lot of things here that, you can release yourself from the expectation of. Release yourself. Even saying that, I release myself of a picture perfect holiday. I release myself of the version that, oh, I should be with a perfect man right now. I release myself of this idea that I should be doing something. I should have a great home. I should be with a partner now. I should have somebody to go home to. You have to physically release, release, release. Do it just like that. Do it with me. I release, release, release of these things that I think I'm supposed to have. And that kind of cleansing push of that, of those expectations, it gets all that stress out. I feel like physically lighter doing that, pushes it out. And it creates this incredible open space in your heart, in your stomach, in your mind to start curating these incredible things that you want for the holiday season as a single gal. But you can't do that if you're still operating on expectations from other people, or you're still operating on triggers and bad memories and guilt and burdens of things that you think you should be doing the holiday season. If you can't do it yourself, consider that this is Coach Martha telling you that you have the right and responsibility to do that. You're authorized to do that. It is your right and your responsibility. And you have to do that if you want to have an incredible holiday season. So to this point, you all, we have talked about some of the stressors that we really kind of deal with as single girls during the holiday season. And we've also talked about how to let go of some of those expectations that we put upon ourselves as women, especially when we're single, that I should have this, it should look like this, I should be doing this, this. So we've cleared the air on those. We know we have to take ownership of those things, personal responsibility for those things, to just kick into the curb and clear the space for an incredible holiday season. So now we get to the good stuff. First of all, though, I would invite you all to take a minute to just what we had said. I release this, I release this, I release this. And so if you were watching the on-demand training a little bit later, what you guys can do right now is you can actually pause this and then restart it again. But I would really invite you all who are actually watching this on demand to take a little bit of time to write this. This holiday season, I release myself of XYZ. And after you've done that, then we can go to this other really exciting part. But keep your notepad handy because we're still going to be working on some of that. So, step one, now that we've cleared the air and we've released ourselves of the shoulds and should nots and things of that nature, in order to rock the holidays as a single girl, you need to reclaim the holiday season for yourself. And so, when I was designing this course, when I was designing this bonus session, I was thinking about, oh, well, do I teach my ladies like a tactical thing that, oh, go and talk to 10 guys at a holiday party, or, oh, go and treat yourself to a spa and things like that. And although those things are great ideas, they're very tactical level, but I wanted to make this more kind of strategic for everybody. So then you can actually use this formula. And then after this session, when you're strategizing by yourself, it is going to be more customized for you. And so the main things I would invite you all to think about when we are looking at taking back the holidays for ourselves as a single girl and rocking the holiday season is reclaiming your holiday season. Two things I want you all to think about on that. Number one, how do you want to feel this holiday season? Do you want to feel a sense of wonder? Do you want to feel like a kid again? Do you want to feel loved, seen, heard, respected? Do you just want to feel just like drunk on eggnog the whole time? Do you just want to feel kind of like horny and fun? You know, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. But whatever it is, I would invite you, and if you are watching this on demand, to pause this right now and to contemplate this. But I want you to get very grounded in, how do you want to feel this holiday season? And after you've identified that, I would invite you to then think about, what do you need to feel like that? What is it going to take for you to feel like that? And so you might be thinking, well, Martha, that's really esoteric. What the hell are you saying? So let's talk about this. So if you want to feel that sense of wonder, and you know that you want to reclaim that you loved going to you loved going to see the tree, the giant town tree when you were a kid. You loved opening presents. You loved doing gift exchanges. You loved having the gingerbread cookies, and you want to feel like a kid again. Then and it is your responsibility. No one's going to do it for you. We're all about personal responsibility here. It is going to be on you to put that in motion. So if you want to feel a sense of wonder, well, then go check out the cute holiday toy store and kind of look around at the toys and have some fun with that. If you want to feel warm and cozy, then you can go to a bar by yourself and get a delicious hot chocolate. If you just want to feel silly, then, watch all like the really fun holiday movies by yourself, or invite your friends over or whatnot, or invite that cute guy that you work with, whether it's National Lampoons or A Christmas Story. If you want to just kind of feel silly, if you want to feel like a kid again, if you want to feel lavished, if you want to feel incredible, if you want to feel spoiled, then reflect on what beautiful, incredible gifts can I get myself? Because this is about, as a single girl, we have to take personal responsibility. Well, we should take responsibility like all the time, but especially as a single gal. No one is going to just be a magical fairy godmother. I wish I could, but I'm just a dating coach, and just wave that wand and give you everything you want. But you can get that for yourself. You can be your own magic fairy godmother. So if you want to feel a certain way, if you want to feel that sense of wonder, if you want to feel a sense of escape, book that trip. But you need to put that plan in motion. And so pause this video if you want to contemplate that and to figure that out for yourself, and come right back. I'm going to be here for you all. So then in addition to that, I would invite you to think about, what do you want to experience this holiday season? Do you want to kind of experience that sense of family? Okay, well then fucking buy your ticket and go home. Or if you're like, well, no, not that family, my chosen family. Okay, well then if you want to experience that sense of family and closeness and things like that in friendship, then you can organize the dinner. You can organize the caroling. You can organize the whatever you would like to organize for your friends. You can organize that gift exchange. So if there's a sense of something you want to experience, whether it's that sense of wonder or friendship or just like that good, wonderful feeling, then it is on you to take those actions to make sure that you feel that. And you can reach out to your friends, you can reach out to your crush, you can reach out to other like-minded folks, but understand that it is your responsibility as a single girl to reclaim that holiday spirit for yourself. No one's just gonna magically do it for you, and to just kind of sit around and be sad that you're eating your, Mac Kraft and cheese and you're watching, The Crown all by yourself, boo-hoo. Well, what do you want to do about that? You can do whatever you want about that, but just be very intentional and mindful that it's going to be on you to reclaim that. So we talked about reclaiming that for yourself and really getting grounded in, what do you want to feel this holiday season? And what do you want to experience this holiday season? And what beautiful, incredible, empowering actions are you going to take to do that? So we've talked about that. So now let's talk about something that I'm actually really, really excited about when we're looking at how to reclaim the holiday season and how to have a great time and rock the holiday season as a single girl, is get connected. Now, I know a lot of folks would rather spend time by themselves during the holidays. And I know before I got back into a serious relationship and I got remarried, I preferred to spend the holidays by myself. That was just me. It was time alone. I was able to do what I want, ate what I want, in any of those things. But for those of you who are like, you know what, I do want to be sociable during the holidays. I do want to have that connection. I do want to have that interaction, whether it's with friends, family, maybe a romantic situation, whatever you want. You're a single girl. You get to do whatever the fuck you want. What I would encourage you to do, and again, you can go ahead and pause this on-demand video, is reflect on the following things. So when we think of connection, we always think with family members, but what if your family lives too far away, or the ticket's too expensive, or, maybe your family's toxic and you don't want to have anything to do with them because they're the ones causing all the triggers from the previous slides. So what I would invite you to do is to get very grounded in this and take some time to write this down if you need to. But if you let go of any sense of obligation that, oh, I have to go see my family, or I have to go to my coworker's party, or I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, let's release that. Release, release, release. What do you want to see? Who do you want to spend time with? So let's get grounded on those two things, because as a single girl, you have the freedom to decide that. You don't have to go to your in-laws. You don't have to go to your boyfriend's house, you're with your boyfriend's annoying family. You don't have to do any of that shit as a single girl, which is why you can rock the holidays. But getting very grounded on, who do you want to see and who do you want to spend time with? And identify that. And if you want to spend time with people, then what is it that you need to do to spend time with them? Is it buying that ticket to go visit your older parents? Is it going and getting that cheap ticket or taking that road trip to go see your friend who maybe lives 3 hours away? Is it calling one of your girlfriends up and saying, hey, would you like to meet up with me in this town? Is it inviting your cousin to spend time with you? So thinking about that. If it is, maybe you are seeing someone or you're interested in someone, is it you asking them out? Because it's pretty low stakes right now. So that is A-okay to do, but getting very grounded in what you want to do, identifying that, and then taking action on that. It's almost like there's a theme here as a coach that I'm taking action. So I know though sometimes that with kind of family situations, you're like, no, I kind of need to go see my parents, and I don't really want to see them, or I need to go see this family member, that family member, but I don't feel great, but I know I need to do it. So if you do feel obligated, hey, I get it, it's the holidays, we have family, but if you do want to connect with them, what kind of healthy boundaries do you need to set with that? Is it getting a hotel? Is it, oh, okay, I'm just going to spend 2 hours at this Thanksgiving thing? Is it, oh, I'm just going to spend 30 minutes at this company happy hour that I kind of feel I need to go to because I'm up for promotion? Whatever that is, knowing that maybe sometimes, you're just not feeling comfortable just kind of like totally ditching it, having those healthy boundaries and healthy time limits so you can get through that without getting miserable or without feeling pissed off or without feeling resentful or burnout. And then here's a new one. If you want to meet new people, if you want to make, say, romantic connections, if you do want to just, meet new people, even non-romantically, making new friends, whatnot, getting very intention filled on where would you like to meet them? Because yeah, maybe there's some silly meet cute, some Hallmark Channel bullshit where you run into him at the Christmas tree farm. But let's be honest, how many of us are going to Christmas tree farms? Unless Whole Foods counts as a Christmas tree farm, or Amazon, I know I'm not going to one. But then being very specific on, hey, I would love to meet new people. Let me Google and see what's in town. Is there a Christmas market? Maybe that could be fun. Is there a Christmas cooking class? Maybe that could be fun. Is there a singles, holiday singles event for people over 50 or over 40 or whatnot? Is there a potluck? So if you do want to meet people, knowing that that is completely possible, but it's going to be on you to pinpoint what that is. And if you're like, well, Martha, I don't know how to pinpoint that. How should I do that? There's this thing called Google, Google, and there's this thing called a search bar, and you put singles events in the holidays right now, singles events in my town, and then put whatever your town is, anything like that. So there is nobody here, unless you're kind of like in a prison cell or whatnot, that can't go out and do things. And it doesn't matter how large your city is or how tiny your town is, especially during the holidays, there's always great things to do. But the way that you connect is being very proactive and plan that, because no one's unfortunately just gonna land in your lap. I wish they could for you, but that's not how it is. So let's just kind of review this time to connect part. Is getting very crystallized and very clear on who do you want to see out of your own heart? Who do you want to see? Not like you feel like you have to, but who do you honestly want to see? Who do you want to spend time with? Make the plan, identify that to go spend time with them. If there are people that you feel obligated to see, whether it's family members or things like that, okay, be intention-filled about that, but then also plan a boundary with that so you're not feeling exhausted. And then for meeting the new people, because hey, you're a single gal, right? You want to do that. Maybe there's some Christmas romance, but the Christmas romance isn't just like going to come out of your TV. That'd be weird. This isn't The Ring. This is a Martha Bodyfelt training course. It's not a horror movie. Nor is it a porno movie where like the UPS guy just kind of knocks on the door. That's not where we are right now. This is the reality we live in. So the theme here is being intention filled and actively planning that. So we've talked about reclaiming and we've talked about connecting. Now let's talk about planning. Now, we had mentioned that a little bit when we were talking about, okay, I want to plan this event. I want to plan seeing this person. I want to plan getting a hotel room if I'm visiting my grandparents and I don't want to stay in their bed because there's a doll room that's freaking haunted and all the dolls are looking at me. So plan. So we've already talked about that. Now, here's a really great thing if you're a single gal. A lot of folks who are dealing with, little kids or dealing with their families or dealing with their husbands or boyfriends or their in-laws and all that stuff, it's almost as if the holiday season for them, it's just this very kind of, you're going through the motions. Boom, 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 got to do this, got to get the presents for this. So let me remind you that a beautiful thing about being single at this point is that you actually get a head start. You are actually going to be able to go to the front of the line with planning what you want the new year to look like for you. because you are able to be picky and choosy here because you're not having all this other family obligation and partner obligation foisted upon you. So the good news here is that you don't have to wait until January 2nd for starting to plan your goals for 2023 and beyond. Actually, at that point, sometimes it's kind of like, well, you're a little late to the party. So if you do want to use this time, because if you say, you know what, Martha, I don't even like the holidays. I just spoke with a client who she's like, yeah, whatever. And look, I get it. It's fine. So if you are the type of single gal who really isn't even into the holidays, look, that's okay. So if you don't want to plan kind of the holiday cheer, if you don't really care about the magic of Christmas or, whatnot, and if you're like, you know what, I want to stay put because I don't like to travel in the winter because it's expensive and there's always blizzards, and I would rather save that money and go to Miami or Tahiti or whatever, that is fine. So for those gals who kind of have that mentality, this next section is for you. What I would invite you to do in a way to rock your holiday season is to get ahead of the game. So I would invite you to use this time. You've got 6 weeks on everybody else to start planning what you want the next year to look like for you. It's perfect time. Everyone's doing all the holiday stuff, but you get to go and plan and strategize. So what does that look like? If you're like, well, you know what, Martha, by this time next year, I really hope I don't have to tune in to your training, your master class about being a single gal during the holidays. I really hope I don't have to do that. Hey, I'm still going to be around. I'm still going to be your coach, coach for that. But if you're like, I don't really want that, or I just want to skip the holidays altogether and run away to Australia for 3 months, or whatever that is. Now is the time to start planning that, because you're not getting sucked into all the holiday craziness. So you're like, well, Martha, what do I want to do? How do I want to plan that? 2 things that I would start offering you guys for if you are kind of in that planning mode right now. I want you to get very clear on how you would like things to be different 1 year from now. So we're in November now. 12 months later in November, 12 months later in December, whatever time frame that you're watching this right now. What exactly do you want different? Do you want your romantic situation to be different? Okay, get very clear on that. This again would be a wonderful time for the folks who are watching this on demand to pause that and just jot that down. Take a couple minutes. What do you want to be different? Is it your romantic situation? Okay, how do you want it to be different? Do you want to be dating? Do you want to be engaged? Do you want to be divorced? Who knows? What does that look like? Who do you want to be spending that time with? And getting very, very clear. Having that clarity, it's called like clarity manifestation, that there's no way you're going to be able to get to your goals in the timeline you want unless you actually identify those goals. What is your North Star? What does that look like? So we have the romantic one. I want to be successfully dating. Okay, well, what are you doing? Well, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll join Martha's Ready for Love in February 2023. Or maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. Okay, but then identifying right now, now's the perfect time. This is what I want to do. All right, so if it is, I want to actually plan this trip, or I actually want to get a new job, or I actually want to buy a new house, I want to do X, Y, Z. Now's the time to start putting those goals there. It's time to have those big, really kind of brave goals right now, starting to do that. Everybody else is going to be doing this in January. Your girl's going to be back here in January doing a goal planning for romance workshop in January and February, but consider this kind of like your speed up. You're in the expedited premier lane at the airport if you're starting to do this right now. So whatever those goals are, what do you want things to be different? How do you want them to be different than they are right now? Now is the time to plan that. In addition to that, if you're like, hey, I would really like to be seriously dating, or I'd love to find a wonderful man this time next year. Okay, you identify that. But the follow on for that is, what do you need to do in order to start that change? Is it that you need to actually get very clear with your dating plan? Is it that you need to look at your budget if you want to go on a wonderful vacation? Is it you need to start looking at your resume to figure out, hey, I actually want to get a new job? Is it, you know what? I am not really having a lot of success myself with dating. So you know what? Maybe I need to look at hiring somebody to help me. Whatever that looks like for you, now is the time to start identifying that, especially if you're not much of a holiday gal and you're just like, ugh, I'm done with it. So, but if you are a holiday gal and you're like, well, I want to choose some of the stuff. This would be a good time when everybody's like in a turkey-induced slumber. This would be a good time to do this after Thanksgiving. Or if everybody's shopping or whatnot, you're like, you know what, I'm just going to do this for myself. Or let's face it, things are kind of like dying down at the offices or whatever. Yeah, do that on company time, whatever. I don't give a shit. But the goal is for you to start planning this. So we have talked about a couple of things during our little training series. And so we talked about really kind of recognizing if you don't like the holidays, getting curious why. We've talked about if you don't like the holidays, here's how you can start reclaiming it, figuring out what do you want to do this holiday season? How do you want to feel? What do you want to experience? And then how can you take responsibility for yourself? Because you're a single gal, that's what we do. To achieve that, we talked about how do you connect? You know, as a single gal, you don't have to like go to so-and-so's house or whatever, if you don't want to, so-and-so's family. No, but you get to be very intentional and very clear on who you want to spend time with. And who, if you do want to meet new people, identifying this is where I want to meet them and this is how I want to make new connections, as well as boundaries. Hey, I have to go spend time with this family member, but these are the boundaries. And then we talked about, after that, we talked about planning. That right now, 6 weeks before the new year, like 6 weeks before literally anybody else is even having any of this shit on their minds, you now have the incredible invitation and opportunity to start planning how you want things to look different. If you want things to be different in the holiday season next year, that's just literally going to be right around the corner. What do you want to do right now in order to affect that change? So for your homework, if you did watch this just straight through and you're like, well, Martha, you had me write a whole bunch of stuff down and I didn't have time because you're talking like an auctioneer. What I would invite you to do is come back to this training or pause this training if you are one of our ladies who are watching it on demand later, and take an hour, 45 minutes, let's do 45 minutes, and reflect on all of those questions that we asked in the different categories. And if you're like, Martha, I don't got a fucking hour, that's fine. Take 10 minutes to do the one where it is, how do you want to reclaim the holidays for yourself? Take 10 minutes then later on, you know, the day after, to reflect on how do you want to make those connections, whether it's meeting new people, having boundaries with people you have to be with, or being very intentional about the people you do want to be with. And then the day after, another 10 minutes, another 15 minutes, getting a head start on actively planning what you want next year to look like, how you want your holiday season to be different next year. Is it with an incredible man? Is it with, you know, dating around and going to lots of different holiday parties? But just kind of sitting and thinking about that and feeling bad that it's not happening for you. Let's change that, right? Let's actually go and plan what we want that to look like and start manifesting the hell out of that. So those are all your homework assignments right now. Now, if you guys are thinking, you know what, Martha, that was kind of a shitload. You went through a lot. You know, we went through a lot of stuff in under like 45 minutes. How am I going to remember this? Or, you know what, Martha, I'm watching this on demand and I keep pausing and I'm just stuck. I don't know how I want things to be different. I just know I want them to be different. I know I want to make new connections with people, but I'm just not really sure how to even go about doing that. You know, I got your back. So if this is something that you guys are struggling with, what I would invite you guys to do, if you are in the Empowered Ladies Facebook group, send me a DM that way and we can start talking about that. If you are one of the ladies who are watching this and you are a subscriber to my newsletter, hit me up. Here's my email. It's martha@marthabodyfelt.com. And we can have a quick chat and figure out how we can actually start planning like your dating strategy. If you're like, you know what, I actually do want my 2023 to look a lot better, a lot different. I do want to actually be more successful at love and feel like really confident in dating. This is where I can help you. Actually, in February 2023, I am relaunching my Ready for Love group coaching program, which is a mastermind that is basically a dating detox and a dating rebuild for women who maybe feel cynical about dating, or they haven't dated in a while and they're at midlife and they're like, I don't know what to do, but I don't want to be like somebody who's alone for the rest of my life with 18 cats. What we actually do in 4 intensive months is go through restructuring your entire dating strategy, basically dismantling and building up everything you know so you can get out there and date successfully. But that all starts with just reaching out to me. You can either send me a DM or you can holler at me at martha@marthabodyfelt.com and we can get you started. So that is all I have for everybody right now. So I'm very, very grateful that you guys all stopped by on what is the beginning of a very busy week and what's going to be a very busy holiday season for you to share and take your time with me. And for all the lovely ladies who are actually watching this on demand, absolutely remember to pause this, to write the things down, whatnot, come back to it, remember the timestamps and all of that. And knowing that I am here for you when you do decide that you do want to have and work with the dating coach, I've got your back. And thank you for following. And I hope you guys all have an absolutely incredible holiday season and really reclaim and rock the holiday season as a single girl. That's all I got, you guys. I'm going to sign off, but write the comments, whatnot, send me an email if you have any questions or concerns, and I will talk to you guys a little bit later. Happy holidays, everyone.